What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Part-Time Nerd Podcast with your pals Alan and Rapid Dave. I'm Alan.
I'm RD. What up?
Not much. How you doing, brother?
Not great. Not great at all.
Not great at all. Oh no.
Nope.
Oh no. So we're here watching the 1980 horror slasher movie, Prom Night, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Leslie Nielsen's in this. A few other people, but those are the two big names in this movie, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
would say so.
this is kind of the movie that's kind of given credit for kicking off the whole like 80s slasher movies, right?
Oh, okay.
That they're all kind of like this is the original, the OG type situation.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
1980. Yeah, 1980. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, what I thought this movie was all right, you know. I don't think it was great. I think the ending was kind of okay, you know, but we'll get to that. But what were some of your thoughts on this?
Oh, buddy. I'll just give you the description because these people
Okay.
have their minds. This slasher movie follows a relentless killer who is out to avenge the death of a young girl who died after being bullied and teased by four of her classmates. Now, high school students, the guilt-ridden kids have kept their involvement a secret, but when they start being murdered one by one, it's clear that someone knows the truth. Also, coping with the past are members of the dead girl's family, most notably her prom queen sister, Kim Hammond, which is Jamie Lee Curtis in this one. But yeah, released July 18th, 1980. Oof.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this, in the 80s, they didn't even try to have people that look like kids play kids. Like, they didn't even try. They're just like, "Nah, whatever. Yeah, let's."
This one
But
wasn't
the one
bad.
guy,
There's like two or three women and a couple dudes that look like they're well under their 30s.
like Lou, looks like a caveman.
Yeah.
Like,
His name is David Mucci.
yeah, he definitely looked like a caveman, in this. Um,
Got his head
I mean,
cut
right out
off.
the gate, you got those kids, they're playing killer, and they're just creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Like, just running around this abandoned school, I guess, or mental ward or whatever the hell it was, yelling killer, 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 kill, kill, kill. And then they end up being killers, right? And the one girl, Wendy, which, you know, she's just kind of you could tell she was going to grow up to be kind of a bee, right? She's like, look, we can't, the one kid's like, we got to go get help right away. She's like, we just killed someone. No, we're not getting help. We're never going to talk about this again, right? And like forces them all to say, yeah, we'll never talk about it again, right? Um, and then fast forward 6 years later, and yeah, they still hadn't talked about it. The one dude is now uh in love with Jamie Lee Curtis, which it was her sister that was killed.
Yeah.
Um, so that's got to be, you know, what's he doing there? You know, that would be a little weird. Um,
Kinda.
there was a guy that ended up taking the blame for this. That as he was escaping, because the cops just kept pressuring him, because they were convinced it was him. He gets in a bad wreck, ends up in a coma. He's disfigured and he's schizophrenic now. And he, of course, obviously, spoiler alert, he breaks out of the mental institution, right? Um, as they always do. But come to find out, it's not him. Um, but yeah, I will say I spent the entire movie waiting for Leslie Nielsen to do something funny. Like,
Anything he's in, I'm just waiting for something like
I'm
crazy.
like,
Yeah.
say something, say, dude, come on, come on, come on. No,
He's
nothing
just
here.
a
All
dad.
right,
Yeah,
all
he's just
right.
a dad.
You're just gonna play this one straight. Okay, all right. See how that works out.
Which it was alright, I
It
mean,
was
he did okay, but no, this movie is it's kinda bad. Like, it's a cult classic, again, a cult horror movie, if you wanna call it that, but yeah, I mean, I liked it that was an hour and 27 minutes.
yeah, it was
Yeah, it's
quick. It's definitely
rather
quick.
quick.
Um, you do get to see a one ass in this movie. No titties, one ass.
You get
As
to
the
see some
girl
jugs.
moons. No,
Yeah, they're, when
no.
what's her name? Kelly is, getting down with, she's in the locker room with her boyfriend, and she's kinda still freaking out. She's spooked a little bit, and he's like, "No, I don't wanna do anything," and he gets up, he gets all pissed off. He's like, "Alright, I'm gonna find someone else that will," walks out, and she's half naked. But yeah, she turns around and you see a pair. But yeah,
Did
not
he?
a lot.
Okay, I guess I blinked 'cause, it was quick.
Yeah, it was when she,
Okay.
yeah, she got up. No, they were out there for a little bit, but yeah, nothing like the other movies that we've seen,
No, 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 no,
where
no.
the
This is
shower scene's like 45 minutes long. That's most
right.
of the plot.
That's something that they added on to the '80s slasher, shortly after this
Mhm.
is that. But yeah, you got this killer going through and, just before prom, he's calling everyone that was involved in it. Um, then he starts picking them off one by one at the prom. Um, there was a pretty cool scene where the van drives off the cliff, and of course it explodes because that's what vehicles did back then,
It
right?
caught fire before impact. I thought it was kind of remarkable.
It was, let's just be honest, wasn't that big of a drop off.
No,
Like,
he probably could have survived. I actually having a van scene was wild. But just the whole scene was crazy. The guy's like flooring, they're just going around. He's pretty much just doing donuts. The killer's falling out of the car, getting back in the car. He knocks him off of it, but then the guy comes to a stop. He gets stalled for a little bit. Then he opens the side of the van, jumps in again, and they continue. It was if you speed it up. Oh, sorry about that. If you
yeah.
speed it up, it's even more comical. Put a little Benny Hill music to the set it to it or something like that. Yeah,
The killer does go down, like, insanely easy at times during this, which led me to believe that the killer was possibly the mother, right?
yeah.
I kinda felt like the killer was the mom just because with how easy she was going down.
Small
Like, at one
frame.
point, she's got an axe,
Mhm.
and the girl hits her with a broom, and she falls down, right? And you're like,
Yeah,
"Okay," and the eye kinda looked like a girl's eye because, like, when they killed Wendy, you kinda see the eye, and you're like, "Okay, kinda looks like a girl," but it's not. It was the brother, Alex was the killer,
mhm.
which ends up
It's a twin.
getting killed. Yeah, the
Yeah.
twin of the girl who was killed,
Mhm,
um, ends up getting killed by Jamie Lee Curtis,
mhm.
right? She hits him with the axe as she's as he's trying to kill her boyfriend, who was one of the ones who killed her sister, which I'll talk about the ending here in a second. But like before that, I did. There was one scene that I really got a laugh out of when Lou gets his head chopped off,
Mhm.
right? And it goes flying out there on the stage, and it's just sitting there, and everyone's freaking out and screaming because here's a severed head, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You got the one teacher's like, "Everybody calm down, everything's okay, it's okay, it's okay." No, 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 it's not. That's
It's
a head.
definitely not okay. It's something has gone terribly wrong, and it's
Right.
sitting 12 feet from you.
I don't know if you know this or not, but that's a caveman's head right there. It shouldn't be there.
That's a caveman's head. Should be in a museum somewhere.
Right?
Sold
But
or
yeah,
something.
and then you get to the end, and then it just kinda like he's stumbling out after he gets hit with the axe, right?
Mhm.
Um, all the cops show up, they're holding the gun, and Kim's like, "No, no, don't shoot, don't," because she realized who it was, and runs and covers him up and pulls his mask off, and he's starting to say they're all trying to say, it was all them, and then he just kinda dies, and the movie just ends. You're
Yeah,
like, "What
that's
the
it.
That's very anticlimactic ending,
Show's over, go
to
home.
it for a movie that was it was really seeped in drama,
Mm.
very dramatic, like, especially with the scenes with the police officers at the beginning as they're getting calls and they're finding it was just very dramatic with everything that they did. Dramatic the way they answered the phone, the way they hung the phone up. There was a lot of drama. But yeah, and then it just kinda ends and you're just like, "Huh, alright, big gulps, huh?
Yep.
Well, see you later."
Yeah, but the scores, it they're hit or miss, but you'll hear the most outrageous one here in a second. IMDb 5.3 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 45%, Letterbox 2.6 out of 5. 81% of Google users like this movie.
Yeah, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, the scream queen,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's
She looked
it's
good. Lot of, I guess disco hadn't died at this point.
dude, that dancing scene was
Oh,
just insane, like, so Wendy, the bitch, was in love with, um, I think the guy's name was Michael, right?
Was it
The
Nick
one that
or
was
Michael?
Nick, it
Nick,
was
okay.
Nick. The one that Jamie Lee Curtis, they were prom king and queen.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So she was upset, so she enlists the caveman
Luke.
to pull off some pranks, right?
Mhm.
And then they show up at prom together, and they strut in, caveman's looking super dapper, and he's got like a white shirt with no sleeves with a tuxedo jacket and a tie or a bow tie tied around his neck. Um, and Jamie Lee, she's like, "Oh, we got to solve this." And the way that they slam it in their face is they do a choreographed dance
Let's
on the
dance
dance floor
off.
while everybody watches.
Yeah.
They just disco dance their to their heart's delight. Um,
Reminds me of, Star-Lord. Dance off. You and me, bro. What are you doing? I'm distracting you, big.
But yeah, no, and that scene seemed to go on for a minute. Like they
Oh,
showed us the entire dance, and then everybody joined in on the dance, right? And you got everybody doing a little dance line, and Jamie Lee's she's just getting down with her bad self. She's just feeling it. She's just in the
mhm.
mood. She's in the music. She's all up in her feels. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't. It's a cult classic, right? It's one of those that if you're talking to someone who likes horror movies and things like that, you can't say anything bad about it because they'll tell you why you're wrong, right?
I've been wrong before. I don't care.
Yeah. Prom Night is one of those classic early slashers that feels like a time capsule from 1980. You've got disco music, awkward high school dancing, terrible decisions, and a mass killer stalking teenagers before prom night explodes into chaos. Jamie Lee Curtis brings instant credibility, but honestly, the vibe is what makes this movie memorable. It's slower than the slashers that came later, but once the kills start happening, it turns into pure old school horror comfort food. And the ending, completely wild. If you love vintage slashers with heavy 80s atmosphere, this one's absolutely worth checking out.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else on this one?
No, I, shan't be watching this again.
Okay. You're not adding it to the Halloween?
No, it was like,
No?
no, no, I'm good.
Okay. I will say I was a little bit disappointed in the kills. Like he didn't have any good gory kills, right?
Had some
The
blood,
best
nothing
ones
too
when
crazy.
he lops the head off, right?
Yeah.
That one was pretty cool. But outside of that, they were just kind of like, okay,
But
you
just
know?
getting the feet wet, it's like you said, this is the first one that kinda kicks off the '80s
Yeah,
slasher film styles.
yep, for sure. But what do you guys think of Prom Night? Is it a must watch, a cult classic, or is it just kind of meh? It's a movie. I don't know, guys. You tell us. We need to know. Dallas, we don't know anything. Right down there. Put it in words. But hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD.
Talk to you later. Deuces.